semblance of self-worth back to him. And you know, walking out, as we walked away, and I was patting him on the back and saying, well, you did magnificently well in there. It must have been difficult, but good on you. And he said, you know something? He said, I feel like I've just been let out of prison. I feel like I've just served a 6-year prison sentence and I've just been let out. I feel free. And it didn't, you know, it didn't actually take very much, and that's the key message. You know, employees aren't litigious. They don't come to us for help because they want to screw their employers over. They come to us for help because they want to carry on working for you. They want to enjoy their work environment, and they want to do it in a place where they feel safe. And that's the key thing right there, is that the Health and Safety at Work Act says that people are entitled to work in an environment where they feel safe.
Yeah, so Pete's the person that Jackie referred to before. I was actually overseas at the time, and Joanne was looking after the place. Do you want to tell everybody what you actually said to me?
Ready?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so after a period of time of doing this work, and most of it's done by email and letters, that we write to them and we say there's an issue with bullying, and they write back and go, prove it. And we write back to them and go, well, how about you start some kind of investigation now that you've been told, you know, because employers they have to know, they have to use the reasonable nous about them. So once they've been told there's an issue, they've got to start the process. But they don't, they say prove it. So we're very used to having a negative feedback. So with this guy Pete across the table, apologising, and doing it in such a way that was really genuine. What I told Allan was I really wanted to climb across the table and kiss her. And I didn't. But that's how I felt, you know, like it's kind of the gratitude that, oh my God, there is hope. And you know, like you heard from the introduction, I've had my own experience. It was almost healing for me to know that there are employers out there that are considerate of their employees. They do want to do the right thing by them. And that's something so simple is something that's very, very healing at the same time. So, yeah, thank you, Allan, for making me tell that story.
And I didn't do it to embarrass you. For me, it was amazing because, and that's why today's amazing. You people are amazing because you're coming here to learn things that are going to help yourselves and your employees and your colleagues, whoever. Each of you can go away today and make amazing changes to your work environments. So when people say you can't do anything, yes you can. And it's about, there's two words that I often use. One's trust. So if you've got a high trust environment, workplace bullying cannot survive. And the other word is respect. If you treat people with respect and you treat people the way you want to be treated, workplace bullying can't survive. So those are two things that people should keep in mind now. I know in New Zealand we've had a change in the style of management, and I think we've gone away from treating people as human beings and treating them more like some kind of commodity. Like if you're into roading, it's kind of like having tar seal and metal and gravel and stuff. So people have lost their value to a lot of people, and each of us want to believe that what we do is valuable and appreciated, and people, and I guess it's probably the time to talk a little bit about the profile of the person that gets bullied and some stats. So I mentioned in New Zealand 1 in 5 people is bullied, and that's based on the statistics we've got, and we don't have a lot of statistics. So if New Zealand wants to get better at this, we need to find out more about bullying, and we need to find out more about the link between the bullying and the mental harm, because we don't have stats to do that, so that's important. What the statistics also showed that 70% of the bullying is vertical top-down, so managers on staff. 5% is the other way around, so staff bullying their managers. The other 25% is peer on peer. So I know in the questions that you submitted to us, there was a lot of questions about what people could do with it, wherever they sat in that spectrum. So because a lot of the bullying is manager on staff, and that's logical because that's where the power sits. What international research shows, and the anecdotal evidence we have, is that people that have been bullied are generally intelligent, articulate, hardworking, loyal, high-performing people. So we're talking people that every organisation wants. And often when they're bullied, their managers aren't those things and they feel threatened. Now, the person isn't actually threatening them, but and this is the New Zealand tall poppy thing going on. So, in terms of what would a good manager do if they had somebody that was really like a high performer, what would they do? And I know what I do because I did it with Joanne. Like, Joanne is performing at a level, so the quality of the documentation that we've got going to the Employment Relations Authority, for example, is better than most law firms can provide. Neither of us are lawyers, but Joanne has the ability to read the detail and pick out the important stuff and get it to the point, and in a recent case we had, where the authority member called an urgent telephone conference between the parties, and I didn't get a chance to get a word in an hour, did I? So the authority member basically said to the employer, you've done everything wrong, you're in deep trouble, you need to do something to sort this out, because if you come to the authority, if you don't have anything to refute all this, you're in deep trouble. Now that was all done on the basis of the detail that had been provided. So what we look for, so we talk about bullying, because the authority doesn't understand bullying, we look for failures in process, failures in law. And we spotted that Joanne, with no employment law background, although you did work for a lawyer for a part of your life, has managed to do stuff way beyond I could ever do in my lifetime. If I started when I was 20, I wouldn't be where Joanne is on a number of levels. Now, I didn't say, I want you to do this, you have to do this. I just let her loose. And, yeah, in terms of, and Joanne had just come out of her own experience. Yeah, she'd just come out of her own experience. And when Joanne first worked for me, she'd come into work, and we had a deal where it was 3 days work in the office and 2 from home. And she'd come in and say, sorry boss, I'm not going to be much use to you today. And I'd say, I don't care, just do what you can, and if you don't want to be here, go. And I didn't ever, and never have. You wouldn't, do we have else on duty? No, and we don't, because I trust Joanne.
What's 24/7?
Yeah, that's not untrue. So what I know is because I don't put stringent controls on, and because I let Joanne come at her own pace, she's performed at a level that is unbelievable. Like, if I had a wish list of what I wanted for somebody, she's gone way beyond, and that's without any instructions. I don't tell her what to do. I say, hey, can we do this? The way she goes,
Hey, can you stop now?
okay, so I guess what I'm saying, and I've managed more than 1,000 people in my lifetime. I've never had a bullying complaint, I've never had a personal grievance, and that doesn't mean I'm 100% PC, because I'm not a... But what I do know is that whoever I have as staff, I treat on a similar level, and if I say something dumb, which I do, there's a response that goes, what did you say that for? That really hurt me. And I go, what did I say? And then it's like, oh, you said this. So I go, okay, I'm sorry. And it's not hard to do. So we have a good working relationship. And I'm not saying all organisations can work like I do, because they can't, because I'm not structured. And you do have to have a structure in most workplaces. But in a lot of workplaces, there is the ability to have flexible working hours, there's the ability to have people working from home, and it all comes down to that word I use before, trust. So I trust Joanne, and I don't check out.
Okay, sorry to break in because it's like awesome stuff, isn't it? There's going to be plenty more of this, by the way. I just want to give you the opportunity to take a quick break, grab some more food, maybe a quick drink or something, and duck to the loo if you need to. Just before we do that, I've just got two quick things. First thing is at the end we've got a group of counsellors here who are available. If anything that's been raised here today, makes you feel like you need to talk to someone and work out what you need to do next, don't be shy, just come and have a chat to them. They're sitting in the front row here. Yeah, and I need you happy to help. So thanks very much to Ruth, Tamsin, and Mel. And second thing is, I just want to invite Wendy to pop up very quickly. We're going to give her 2 more minutes to talk about the Health Action Trust.
Kia ora. This is the advertisement you want to have before you get your break. So I'm a mental health promoter for Health Action Trust. Health Action Trust is the umbrella organisation behind the Business Forum on Mental Health, which is the group that's brought these lovely people down to us today. Mental health promotion is about raising awareness of mental health and well-being, about stigma, and about making a difference. The 5 ways to well-being, if you're joking to those, are the go-to for mental health and well-being. And certainly if you put them in before anything goes wrong for you and keep practicing them consciously, they'll make a difference. So within my role, I engage with stakeholders in the community and workplaces, and we look at how to raise mental health and well-being in the workplace, and to look at policy and practice as well, and how we can do it better and more mindfully. And I said this was an ad, so here it comes. For bullying, there is the Pink Shirt Day in May each year, and we've got Mental Health Awareness Week coming up in October. This year we have 2 fabulous events. The first one is a sunrise walk for wellbeing. That's on the 8th of October, and that will open it. There's some flyers at the front about it, and I urge you all to come along and support mental health and wellbeing, and have a nice walk around the perimeter. There'll be breakfast there. The information's on the flyer. If we run out of flyers, just contact me, my card's there. And to end Mental Health Awareness Week, we have a concert in the cathedral. Bryce Wasney will be performing for this, and it'll be an awesome event. So I'd invite you all to come along. And now you can have your Allan break.